Hi, my name is Dan, and welcome to the Oddly Coded podcast. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be your host as we go on this fantastic journey, just you and I. And also, funny enough, it's just you, me, and 3 surprise guests. Gentlemen, welcome to the show. Mr. Steej 1, Lyle there, and Matt is kind of dead down there.
Only halfway.
He's only halfway dead, you know?
He's halfway out the door.
He's halfway out the door, and, you know, I genuinely hope that he has some sort of medication in his system, because we will be seeing the gradual deterioration of Matt's body. By the end of this episode today, he will just be a pile of dust, I'm sure.
Yes.
Ooh.
It's just gonna...
He's almost there, honestly.
He's kind of dissolving right now, which is why, like, half of him is underneath the blanket, so we don't have to see it all.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We don't have to see it all happen. Thankfully,
Yeah.
he's clothed, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
As far as we know, yeah.
Maybe thankfully for the audience.
Yeah. What are we doing today, Dan?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad that Steej 1 asked that shit, because you're in for a bit of a treat. Today,
You're in.
we're going to be going over... What the fuck did you just say? In the
Don't worry
middle
about
of
it. What
my
are we doing
intro?
today?
Keep going.
I repeated your words.
Okay, well, we're gonna be diving deep. We're gonna be tickling the balls of culture, and we're gonna be just grabbing the culture, the culture and
treble
the
clef.
arts by the nuts, just yanking them down. And we're going to be doing a tier list and giving you our opinions on video game soundtracks.
Because you asked.
Because you
Yeah.
asked for that. You're the
Yeah.
one who asked.
You wanted
We
it. You
finally
didn't make
figured it
this
out.
shit up.
You knew
this was
you wanted this for sure.
So-
Absolutely.
I would like to draw everyone's attention to the fabulous thing, except for Matt, the fabulous thing that I have prepared here down for us in the Discord. I have been sharing my screen, which is full to the fucking brim of all these games right here.
Wow.
I see at least
Check-
3 that have made me feel things downstairs.
I'm feeling.
I love the idea that just looking at...
What was that?
It's the outside world. Just keep going.
I love the idea that three out of the 16,000 of these games has given Lyle an immediate 4-hour lasting erection. I mean, you know,
And you know what? I should have called the doctor, but I was enjoying it too much.
Yeah, that's fair.
he's still on hour 1, but he was still enjoying it too much. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think that without further ado, I wanna ask. Have y'all ever played Nier Automata? Because
Lyle
I
has.
fucking have.
I most definitely have. Not to the extent that a lot of like diehard Square Enix people have. I've given it one playthrough, and when I say one playthrough, I've only gotten the first ending. There are like Square Enix people out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that, but there are at least like 10 different endings for this game. When the credits roll on the first time you go through, and you start the next round, like the game is different, and like noticeably different, so that. It's not necessarily a pick your own path type of different ending, but it's like just shit is different.
Is it
like
similar but different?
Similar but different. The same but not at all.
Did we mention that we're talking about the soundtracks?
Oh,
yes,
did we?
we're talking about the soundtracks.
So,
Okay.
I said
Just wanted
that.
to make sure that was clarified. I couldn't remember if you actually said that or not.
Editor, whoever it is, it's probably me. Go back and play the clip where I was just like, video game soundtracks. And we're going to be doing a tier list and giving you our opinions on video game soundtracks.
And
Or
then
if I
in the
didn't
robotic
say
robotic voice, like here today we are talking about video game soundtracks. as Dan's lips clearly do something.
Today we are
completely
talking about video game Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl soundtracks.
Did Dave Grohl ever make a soundtrack for a video game? Because
Maybe, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
So there's so Nier Automata's music is actually
God.
phenomenal. So while the game itself is not one of my like of all-time favorites or whatever, the music is actually really, really memorable. Especially, and for anyone out there that's curious, and obviously anyone here that wants to listen to it later on, but there's a particular track, I can't remember what it's called, but it's pretty early on in the game when you get to like the circus or the fair or whatever that area is called. It's one of those like, it's a rundown city, the circus is all dilapidated, but it's still like that eerie type of like fanfare, like, oh, welcome, like you're gonna be like you're in a show. It's really good. I would give
Dan, what did you do?
we're not gonna talk about that. I'm just gonna make a joke about what Lyle said. It's just fanfare. It's just an orchestral mix of just like, ha, welcome to the apocalypse, fucker.
Okay, well, out of interest of time, since Lyle, you're the only one who's actually played this game out of the three of us.
I'm gonna give Nier Automata either A or B. I don't care which one you go with.
A or
Okay,
B?
since you're
Okay.
the only one who's played it, let's throw it at B for now,
Okay.
Yeah.
so we can move
because
on.
I can
This
imagine
game-
what the soundtrack probably would have sounded like, and I'd say I'd go A.
Oh, that's cool. Keep it a
Yeah.
B. Next game.
Wow, that's really good information. Next time, champ, keep it to yourself. All right,
No.
I don't know what the fuck Transistor is.
Transistor is the game that Supergiant made before Hades.
Yes.
Is it good?
Phenomenal
It's
gameplay.
got it's got pretty good music just on account of it being a Supergiant games game. I haven't gotten through the whole game. I've played a little bit of it. It is a cool soundtrack. I don't know if I like it as much as the Hades soundtrack, but then again, I haven't heard the whole thing. Am I the only one who's played it?
I've played it.
Okay.
Never played it.
It's a great game, but for me the music was not that memorable.
It wasn't as memorable as maybe Hades.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say on account of it just being a Supergiant Games title and the level of music and musicianship that they have for like from their team, I would say put it at least B, just as a
At least B?
yeah,
Is
like
it
at least B.
better? Is it better than Nier Automata?
I would say put it above Nier Automata just because more than one person
Okay,
has
I'll tell you
played it from us.
It's B for Beverage.
Beverage. Okay.
Beverage.
Well, I think
now
C is average. It's
Where
like
did-
caverage.
Where did we get this
Coverage.
list?
And then B can be beverage.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Yeah, you're right.
And then where all the dead
Beverage.
games are, it's cadaverage.
All right, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Bro.
All right, Lyle.
I'm actually rewatching the Game Grumps playthrough Majora's Mask, and
Open
I
the
forget
gate,
just like
Take him
the
off the
mu-
leash.
Music is so good. That's an S tier for me.
S tier,
Because they do a
okay.
really good job of just to briefly talk about it. Like some of the really somber moments, like when you're in the final hours of the game, it gets really really sad no matter where you are, because it's like
Yeah.
oh, you gotta kind of rush back to where you gotta be. But if you don't, everyone's gonna die. It's good.
Is it better than? I mean, not that we've gotten there, but is it better than Ocarina of Time soundtrack?
I would. There's too many stipulations to go back and forth on.
I mean,
with
could
that.
they be on the same level?
Yeah, no, they could.
All right, so I'm gonna keep it real with you fellas for a second. This topic was very tough because unfortunately I was just gonna go like and be general with the franchises that we were going to be looking at.
Okay.
I see.
Like, just as an example, on my original list, I had the Mario Kart games, and then onto the side of that, the Super Mario games, like Galaxy, Odyssey, the
But they are
originals,
different.
shit like they are different.
But we
They are
don't have
different,
to
which
do
is-
this all in one episode either.
Well,
we
yes, there's probably
fine.
there might be a part 2, depending on if you ask nicely. Anyways, so Majora's Mask, you said S tier?
That's well. I mean,
I
just
would-
on
I
account
would
of it
say
being a
S.
Zelda game, and
S
those
for
usually have
somber.
pretty great.
I can like if we have a lot of Zelda games on the list, I can blow through them.
I'll put that shit up there. Comments if you disagree. You
Make
get
it S for
subscriber of the
Zelda.
week if you disagree with Lyle's opinion.
I've also
Yeah.
played a majority of these games on here.
A
when you're
majority of
scrolling through
these
them.
masks.
A
Got
majority
to
of these
before I
masks.
could.
Wait,
Ah.
Dan, make S tier S for Zelda.
Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 L's because they gotta sell them games.
They got sold.
I would
Well-
say if we're putting Majora's Mask up there, is that Twilight Princess?
Yeah, this is Twilight
Yeah.
Princess.
Throw it up there. Throw it in Zelda.
Just throw
I
it
would
up.
put it at
All right,
C.
Here we go.
At
Alright.
C?
Yeah,
Fucking-
Twilight Princess was not one of my top Zelda games.
Well then, that
Well, yeah, but we're
sounds
talking
like
about the
a
music.
beverage
No,
to me.
no, I know. They played the nostalgia card a little bit, and they
Well, yeah, that's what all Zelda games do.
Well, no. Instead of creating new songs, like new unique songs for you to play as the Wolf Link when you learn new like techniques,
Yeah.
you play songs from like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
So you're saying it's the same as Majora's Mask?
Yeah, but I want new songs in a new Zelda game.
He's
Fine, put it at A.
He's got a point.
Put it at A. Put it at A. Right
I can
underneath.
agree.
No,
to
A is just gonna be this. A is just gonna be A. I like that.
Just
Yeah, no, I like
Yeah.
that. No, we'll
A
put
for up.
2 more A's. All right, so
I
Persona
have not
5.
played Persona 5. I've heard it's really great and has good music.
I've
heard
played
the same thing.
like 2 hours of Persona 5, and that's the only like amount of time that I've ever put into any Persona game. Persona 5, like the soundtrack, is on regular Spotify for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
That music bops, dude. It fucking slaps.
We want to put it at Zelda.
You never see.
We're putting it at Zelda?
Yeah, Zelda.
Wow.
We're putting it in Zelda. All right.
That's
Dragon
the highest
Quest.
rated game so far that only one of us has played. That's pretty great.
We love
Is
that.
Scott
I've played
Pilgrim
them.
versus the World the game on this list?
It might be. We'll get to it if it is.
I'm looking
I don't see
very
it.
briefly. The next one is Dragon Quest, by the way. I've never played that shit.
Nor have I.
I've played Dragon Quest. It was when I was very young, and it was like the MIDI like Game Boy Dragon Quest games. So you could probably imagine that it was like your run of the mill just Game Boy MIDI type music. So
can
like
put it
it
on-
wasn't
We
bad.
can put it on
but,
Never
like,
Played if
Yeah.
like, you don't really remember it that
okay.
well.
Yeah.
I
What game
played,
is this? You said it's Dragon Tales?
Dragon
Dragon
Quest.
Quest.
Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest.
That's legendary status,
Yeah.
okay?
Go on a Dragon Quest.
Come along, take my hand. Let's all go to Dragon
Land Quest.
Land
S tier.
We're getting
Quest.
down. Overwatch I don't care about.
Overwatch,
Me neither, honestly.
Overwatch has like 3 songs.
Yeah, I think they're not bad though. Like I think it's I'm not trying to argue that the Overwatch soundtrack is S tier right now because it's not. But I
put
do
it at
think that
C.
it's iconic.
Yeah,
I
I'm
do
right
think
there
that
with you.
whenever you hear
Mhm.
like that main theme, like it evokes like oh, that's Overwatch. Like you know what it is. I think it went down a little bit with Overwatch 2. I feel like they didn't put quite as much into it with Overwatch 2. Like some of the revisions they did, I don't like quite as much.
The only argument that I have for Overwatch, because the only song that I know of from this game, other than like a little bit of like the transitional music between like being in the spawn room and fighting, there's just like 3 seconds of and then you get to the play of the game soundtrack, and then that's the song people know of. Personally, I feel like that Overwatch is a bit of a one-trick pony, except
that's fair.
except for the music that they used for what's his name, Sigma's lore video.
Oh yeah.
Because like his whole shtick is
good.
music.
I don't know. Do we want to make it our first coverage?
Yeah, it's going in coverage.
What melody
for me.
are you talking about?
I don't. We're never gonna know. Is the thing.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Gravity fucked
Shovel
with my
Knight,
brain.
I've played briefly.
Oh my God.
Lyle, I know you've
Legendary.
played it at
Legendary.
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 Shovel Knight has fantastic music.
Legendary.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
Yacht
I played
Club
it
Games-
briefly.
Yacht Club
Yeah.
Games music has like, granted, I only know 2 of their games if they've only made 2, but both of them have like their music. I have again regularly on my Spotify.
Right.
Both Shovel Knight and Cyber Shadow.
Okay.
But
Got
for the sake of conversation, Shovel Knight, yeah, every level, every unique song, a banger.
Will this be our first legendary of the list? I mean, I'm okay with that.
So.
That's
I'm okay
just
with
me.
that.
Shovel
Okay.
Knight
Matt
is, yeah.
disagrees because he is dead. So
Yeah.
my
Matt wants some bangers and mash.
all right, GTA 5, and this one
Does that have a soundtrack, or is it just a bunch of?
Are we talking like overworld music, or are we talking like the regular GTA type OST where it's like everything that plays on the radio?
The thing about it is that you kind of have to consider both, given the fact that let me see, I'm pretty sure the
Is
Fallout
Vice City
games
on
are on
there?
here too. I'm pretty sure the Fallout games are on here as well, and that's just the radio. I know nobody is playing that game without their fucking radio on. There is not
Yeah.
a
I
person
mean,
on
I
this
mean,
planet.
I did actually. Fallout 3, I enjoy the eeriness of like a wasteland and like coming up on like a mutant camp. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Lyle has just confirmed that he's a fucking psychopath.
We knew that.
The internet is further confirming that for us, so I don't see why we're surprised.
I wanted to hear 50s music, but instead all I got was
Bro, all I need to hear is I don't want to set the world on fire on repeat, like in the preview, in the commercial, the trailer, that's what it's called, like 30 times, and I'm good.
And see, that's the argument that I have for GTA 5. While it does have some really good music in its actual, like, overworld OST, specifically during its, like, main story campaign, there's a ton of cool music for each of the characters. They have their own unique themes and everything. They also have songs, original songs written for the game. But then, on top of that, you have to consider the fact that everything that's on the radio was hand-curated by the team, so it has to fit the game's, like, vibe in some way.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
no, that makes sense. No,
Definitely, I don't know. I would put it in beverage, maybe.
I would agree with that, because not
A is the highest I'd go.
Not in line with GTA 5, but with GTA Vice City. Like
Vice City
like
had
both,
better shit.
Both the radio and the ambiance of just
I
going
get
around Vice City, like it meshed really well together.
Is Vice City on the list there somewhere?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
Might be. It may be somewhere in here. There's
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of... Oh, yes, it is. Damn, we got
so-
San Andreas 4 and Vice City.
Throw since we have it
San
there,
Andreas.
throw Vice City in A and throw
Yeah.
5 in B,
Okay.
and then that way we'll just have
I can
them
agree
knocked
with
out.
the A. I
Where's
can't really
San
speak
Andreas?
to
5 and beverage.
California and
San-
Nevada, but that's
San
not really
Andreas-
pertinent right now.
San Andreas is the exact same place that 5 is.
Oh, is
By
it
the
really?
way. Yeah,
could-
it's the
I could
exact
do
I
same
didn't
city.
know that. That's good
Why
to
do you
know.
think people
Well,
were
no, I
shitting their
mean-
pants
I
when this
mean-
game came out?
Are we moving Vice
'Cause it
City?
looked
Or
good?
sorry, Vice City's in a different tier. Is 5 are 5 and San Andreas in different tiers? Because
I don't
Um,
know.
they're in the same city, but the soundtracks are different.
The soundtracks are far different.
I haven't played it.
They're
I'm
like-
not as familiar with San Andreas. I just know the
San
meme
Andreas
comes
is
just
from
do
probably
it.
never-
the one Grand Theft
we
Auto
never
game
played for San
I'm
Andreas.
the most familiar with.
San
Oh,
Andreas
unless
is
you-
like the definitive GTA game.
Yes.
Unless it's
Well-
Vice City, it's San Andreas.
San Andreas
Yeah.
also had that huge controversy back in the day when modding was starting to get really big.
Well,
and someone had
yeah.
modded like a sex scene into the game, and it got everyone was like freaking the fuck
That
out.
just bumps
and
it up
making
a
big deal
little
out
bit
of it.
higher.
yeah,
as
no,
far as
that's-
OSTs are concerned. Definitely.
No, that,
Yeah, obviously that has a lot to do with the music of the
Yeah,
game.
they put Barry White in or something.
Yeah.
can't wait for the IGN review of that.
As long as
All right.
San Andreas is above Vice City, I will be okay.
All right,
Ooh.
Steej 1. I got you here.
Da, 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 to put it
Shut
in
the fuck up
legendary.
now. All right, I'm gonna just put Katamari
Yep.
Damacy up there because I fully
Katamari
agree.
Damacy.
I
I
agree with
fully
this.
agree with that.
I
get
it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Spider-Man.
It's so good,
I found our
dude.
worst
Marvel's Spider-Man.
OST right
It's good, but I say it's average because in terms of music, it's like it's run of the mill action. It's nothing special.
I agree. Its theme music is some of the best that has come out of games in the past couple years, though. I'll give it that. Because you hear the theme music, I don't know if you've heard, I don't know if some of y'all have heard the theme music for the first Spider-Man, but Jesus Christ, if it doesn't invoke the type of that, like, you listen to it and you're just like, oh yeah, that's a Spider-Man theme. It's like, yeah, this is some shit that you
I could sling webs to this.
I give
Okay.
it I give it a beverage.
A beverage?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beverage?
Dan, you have to step.
Where in
You have to step out of the fact that you love Spider-Man.
No, dude, and I love it too. Like I platinumed both Spider-Man and
It's
Miles
about the
Morales.
music. It's not about the game.
Yeah, like the game
here's
itself
the
is
thing.
fantastic, but the music itself does not stand out.
We're 2 away from me shitting my pants right now. And so it's gonna be a lot tougher in the next few minutes. Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Has
Oh, I'm
anybody
glad you
played
can read that
Silent
because
Hill
I
2?
can't. I thought that
I-
said
I
like
thought it said, like,
Daggerfall
that
too.
shit.
I
That shit says
Titanfall
Silent
2
Hill
or
2.
something.
Matt, have you ever
Wait,
played
isn't-
Silent Hill 2?
Isn't Daggerfall a Skyrim
No.
or an Elder Scrolls location?
It is.
No, the main thing
Yeah,
I know about
Daggerfall,
Silent
yeah.
Hill is that it had a really interesting mechanic. Like the way that they used the fog actually helped it like perform better. But so
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about the OST.
They didn't
Me
have to
neither.
deal with the draw distance as
Is it-
much. But
is it
Silent
good
Hill,
music?
Probably good, but
Silent Hill is a good game. However, it's one of those that relies heavily on the long silences.
Yeah.
So in terms of music
On the
direction,
hill.
I mean,
in terms
it's-
of
yeah,
music
yeah,
direction,
absolutely.
it's good, but it's a lack of music that works in its favor. But we're talking about the music and whether it's memorable or not, right? So in this case, I would say like probably D or F, just because like the music's near non-existent.
Okay.
But if we do another one of these later on, they are doing a Silent Hill 2 remake, which a shit ton of people are excited for, which probably will have a revamped soundtrack. Yeah, it's a full blown like Resident Evil style remake.
As far as
put
like,
it in D for Silent Hill.
Yeah, we'll make that Silent Dill. There we go.
D for D's Hills.
D's
All right, so all right.
Can't speak to Skyrim. I'm gonna say that right now.
All right.
You have 3 Skyrim players in the chat right now.
Correction. I know the main theme pretty well. So I would say the main theme is really good. I enjoy
Dan,
the main theme.
if you're about to argue to put it in Legendary, I'm just gonna agree with you.
Dude, same. Just put it in Legendary.
That's the thing. I'm not going to.
You don't want to put. You don't want to put Skyrim's music in Legendary?
The highest I'd go is S for a couple of reasons.
Okay, explain.
If you have played Oblivion... Well said, Peyton. Jesus Christ. She's just like, what? What?
That's
It's
Lyle's
okay.
job.
Are you chilling?
That's my job.
Okay, cool. Okay, so here's my thing. If you have played Oblivion, you will know that a lot of Skyrim's music it's pretty much spot on, like note for note from Oblivion. Some of Skyrim's music can be found in Oblivion. Okay, we're just gonna breeze past that shit. There are quite literally songs that are named the exact same thing in both soundtracks, Matt.
Yeah, like what percentage? Like, obviously something's going to get carried over because they're in the same world. So, like, certain themes for certain races and civilizations are going to have to be in there. The original songs that they came into to Skyrim with, that they brought to Skyrim, elevated that
I agree.
so much.
I agree, but
at this point, I'm just
going
gonna
to
start badly singing the intro theme to Skyrim until you put it in Legendary. Ready?
I'm just gonna put it in. All right, shut up.
No, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. God damn.
No, they're actually surprisingly similar.
They are. They are. They're very
Steej, it's
similar.
already in the thing. Shut the fuck up. All right, we're doing.
There's no way we got that lined up. Yeah, how about the Lego Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack?
The Lego movie? What?
No, the Lego Pirates of the Caribbean
I've
game.
lost all control.
Soundtrack.
Oh, I haven't played that one.
Because it's the same as the movie, and at that point...
Thank you for that, Lyle.
This is a captain.
The coughing or what?
This is a ship without a captain.
Sorry.
The captain has jumped overboard.
Okay, Super Smash Bros. Which one is that? Is that just all of them?
Yes, we're just gonna go for all of them. I don't care which one.
I mean, it's iconic for sure.
Yeah.
But does it have more things that are iconic?
And can we say it's iconic because of its own unique music or because of the music that it takes from other games?
I think it's iconic in the same way Overwatch is iconic, but it's better than Overwatch.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
It definitely has a better reputation.
Do you disagree with that, Lyle?
Yeah, because Overwatch doesn't take from other games to make something. What am I trying to say? That like, that's what I was asking with my question. Was
Smash,
like, is Smash Brothers music iconic because of its unique tracks to the Smash game, or because of the music from the series that it takes the music from?
No. I would say what differentiates it from like Grand Theft Auto is the fact that it's taking music from other, not only Nintendo now, but from other Nintendo games. Like, and it's like it's a culmination of all things in that genre almost.
Actually, you know
like
what?
Other games.
I would put it above Overwatch, and here's why. The rendition of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, that they did for the Temple of Time in Smash Melee is the best Smash song, and I will fight anyone on that. So yeah,
What about the main theme?
Do you want to put it in
Put
beverage?
it in beverage. No, better than the main theme.
Of
Better than the main theme.
Ultimate.
Nope.
Okay, why is the second Zelda theme in the Temple of Time when the Temple of Time has its own theme song?
Because the Temple of Time came in Zelda 2 before the Temple of Time was even a thing in later games. Because the Temple of Time.
I'll bet that did happen.
So yes, that would make sense.
Final Fantasy.
Yo,
Final Fantasy, whatever the fuck that one is.
that's
What numbers?
All
15?
of them.
But most recently, I've played Final Fantasy 16. Oh my god, that was some of the most epic music.
Okay.
And again, part of my regular Spotify go through. So for me, that's I would say
for Final
A.
Fantasy.
I would put that in A.
I'll put it in A.
I'd go with A for all.
I don't know whether or
Fantasy.
not this is Orta 1 or 2.
Orta.
Yeah, I don't know whether or
Does
not this
Portal
is
have
Orta 1.
music?
It does.
Yes. Most notably, this was a triume.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I just haven't gotten that far in the game.
Mistake. Well, because that plays in the
Portal?
credits.
Huge mistake.
How much music does it
Fucked
have?
it up.
So
really, just
Portal,
the last song, I think.
it has
it's got its-
ambient. It has ambient
Yeah.
like environmental music that it plays as you're solving puzzles, but it's not. It's nothing like Skyrim level.
I wouldn't call it I would barely call it a soundtrack. It's got ambience.
Do you want to put it in F for Fortal?
I'd put it in Silent Hill or Silent
Most
Hill.
of the
Silent
shit
Hill.
that you hear in
Just because
Well, because
That
it's
would
not
go with
bad.
C.
It's just kind of non-existent.
that and the cake song, like you think Portal and you think music, you think the cake song. Like
Yeah. Yeah, no, the
it
cake
stuck-
song
it
is
sticks
just
with you.
so dang good. I would put it all the way
Now-
up to C at least.
now-
even though
And
that's
Portal
like the-
2's song that they
just
followed
based
up
off
with
the
at the end of
one.
the credits in Portal 2 was also really, really fucking good. Not as good as Cake Song.
I have a lot of opinions about the next few that we're about to talk about.
Okay.
Samesies.
The final of Wii.
The final of Wii, I adore
The Last of Us,
the
for
music.
anyone listening.
I adore the music in this game.
The termination of Nosotros. It's and Dan, here's the controversy here. Music is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
However, I thought it was for the type of game that it was. It wasn't. It was pretty bland and pretty generic. Like phenomenal. It was a phenomenal soundtrack, if that makes sense. But it wasn't. I would not write a letter home to my mother about it.
Where would you put the second one, though?
For the fact that I got to play the guitar in the game,
Higher or lower than the original one?
I would put 2 above 1 for sure.
Okay.
For
And
me.
So where are we
for
putting 1? Because I have not played it, so I'm not. I don't know. I don't know.
Highly recommend. But yes, where are we putting 1?
So if I'm categorizing both games together,
I'm good.
I would put them at beverage.
Beverage.
Yeah.
Middle beverage. Could it be a high beverage?
It could be a high beverage.
A high beverage. I'll put it below.
That's fine.
Sorry about all the coughing. Coughing.
Okay. The 2018 God of War.
Oh my god. Zelda.
I've only played a little bit of it so far. It's pretty good.
I keep meaning to follow up with you on that.
It's pretty good.
The soundtrack is its own fucking character, pretty much, and that
Oh my
and
God,
that
dude.
continues into Ragnarok.
Yeah, it does.
And like
Ooh.
it continues.
Oh, and then-
not only does it continue, but it's on steroids. It's done
Dude.
a training arc in.
And then
Ragnarok.
Hosier's song during the credits of the second game.
Well, spoilers, but yes,
How's that a spoiler? This is a pop artist doing a song
game's been out for years.
for the game.
Game's been out for years. All right, where are we
All
putting
right.
this? I'm
We-
putting
we
it.
can
I'm
put it in
putting this
S.
bitch in Zelda.
I say A or Zelda.
Okay, I'll put it in Zelda. All right. Red Dead Redemption 2.
I'm a little biased because I did not like the game.
I can say that it has one of the worst songs in it. I think the soundtrack is really good, but it also has
What's
one
the
of
worst song in it?
The fucking one where they're it's like it's when you first get to Valentine and then you go into town and they sing it in the back of the carriage.
Oh, well, that doesn't fucking count.
Yes, it
It's
does.
it's like a folk song. It's like a folk song where like all of the
Yeah,
people
it's
in the
just
back of the
bullshit.
cart are singing it badly because they don't know how to sing. That's all it is, and it's just a point for
still
Arthur
part
to
of
be
the
on the front of the
soundtrack.
cart, and he's just like, "Oh my fucking god, just let me get to the next part of this mission, please."
Yeah.
Like
No,
it's
no,
a
everybody
it's a
that played
tutorial
that-
to show you
So
how
the
to
song
drive the
does
cart
its
faster.
job.
I guess
you could say that
sure.
song did its job. It made you.
It made you want to get there faster.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you're even considering that over some of the other music in this game.
I just say it has to be considered alongside the rest of it.
Its own original
Math also
songs.
No,
delirious.
I'm in
Deliriously right.
Yeah.
A lot of its soundtrack can be heard in like stingers, like stinger transitions between
I
like
thought
the
you said
world
stairs.
and like no, like
the
stinger
acoustics
transitions
are that
between
good.
like the no, it's
Every time
all
go
you hear
upstairs,
is
it's
just
music.
you just get into a new town or you go out into the open field and it's just the sound of Arthur
yeah.
falling down some stairs.
So
Every time you
good.
go up
Oh,
stairs,
like
an
the,
angel
It's
gets
just
its
like
revolver.
ditch
Ridian, do you know which song it is where it's almost like a horror vibe to it, but it's like I don't know. I'm not sure.
Is it
how
like
to
a bunch of
describe it.
people? Is it a bunch of people like singing almost a cappella a little bit?
No.
No?
It's like strings, and they're just kind of like. I don't know how to fucking.
I know exactly what you're
describe-
talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. A lot of the music is used. It's really just used to heighten the cutscenes, because that game is mostly cutscenes. If you're not shooting or
But
riding a horse, you're watching a cutscene.
That's true, but when the dynamic music that they use when you get into like a firefight just randomly,
Yeah, no, that some of that shit is
and
pretty
it's
cool.
extremely
Like,
well implemented.
There's a song that was from the original Red Dead Redemption called American Venom that they brought back for the second game. And if you want a Wild West sounding song, look no fucking further. Like honestly, it's got like the trumpets and you got like the whip cracks and the fucking cowbells and shit. Meanwhile, you're just shooting up a bunch of gang members. So what more could you want? Right.
So where
It's
do you
done-
want to
So
put
It has
it?
to be
Arthur-
above San
Arthur had a
Andreas.
fever. Was his only prescription more cowbell?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do we want to put it?
Me
Above
personally,
San Andreas.
the lowest that I would go is high A. Me personally, just because of all of the songs that were written specifically for this game.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause you got to think that's like what is that, like an
Let's go
8-year gap? It's like an
Need
8-year
S.
gap between the two games, something like that.
Mass
All right.
Effect.
All right, ass effect. Where
Ass
are we putting
effect.
where are we putting ass effect?
It's down.
It
It's like
down for Dilent Dill, maybe?
yeah,
Perhaps?
yeah. I know there are probably gonna
Was
be
it
a
really not good?
lot of diehard Mass Effect fans out there. Just very not memorable. Like the game, a lot of people have nostalgia for this game. So again, trigger alert there. I played all 3 of them for the first time when the Legendary Edition came out, when they HDified them, and the games did not age well, and like it was, the whole experience was just.
But what
mediocre.
about the music? The
That's what I'm
music's
getting at,
separate
like-
from the
Yeah,
game.
no, for sure.
No.
I get that.
The music
Nope.
didn't age
It's
well.
also ass effect. So,
Okay.
Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah.
I mean, iconic.
Dude, we can cut all this.
This
out,
Oh,
please.
This
and
is
then
just
the
fucking copyright claim.
no. We gotta get into the bluegrass for a minute.
Yeah, no, for sure.
No, Mario 64 is either A or Zelda for me.
A or higher for sure. Yeah.
A or Zelda. Okay, got it. I'll put it in.
Oh, and then
high.
bro, Dire Docks. Holy shit!
get that.
I mean,
that
I'd
music
be
is
willing to put it
ambient.
in
Ambient
Low
and
Zelda. Some Zelda.
Low-
Okay,
low
all
Zelda.
right.
Low
Low
Zelda.
Zelda.
Low Zelda.
No,
Yeah.
higher Zelda.
It's iconic,
Yeah.
but like everything about it is iconic rather than like some of the other stuff we talked about where it's just like it's iconic, but they've got like 2 songs. So, yeah. Zelda for sure.
Oblivion's soundtrack.
Oblivion.
Oblivion's soundtrack, at least nowadays, is mostly heard in memes because this game came out in fucking 2006 and no one ever plays it anymore. Unless you got mods to make it look like Skyrim, in which case everybody
Oblivion.
plays it. Yeah, no,
Can't
for
wait till
sure.
that comes out. That'll be cool.
Oh my god! Oh,
But I don't want to get on a
they're-
tangent. What about the music?
They're remastering all of it for Sky Oblivion, by the way. Anyways,
Excellent.
Oh,
Oblivion soundtrack it's classic. It was made entirely with sampled instruments. Fun fact. Everything up to Oblivion was made with sample instrument packs. And so for what they had, it's really impressive about like some of the stuff that they were able to achieve.
Is it as good as Skyrim?
Not in a million years.
Okay, so it's not
Jesus
going to be that
Christ, no.
high. Is it like A? Or
That'd
is
be
it, like,
the
not
that'd be the
even
highest
really?
I'd go. I'd put it like
Maybe
I'd put it-
beverage?
yeah,
High
I'd-
beverage?
I'd
Mid
put it-
beverage?
I'd put it underneath The
Mid-beverage.
Last of Us.
Okay.
Like it's got 2.5 hours less runtime if you put them all in the same video than Skyrim's soundtrack.
Okay.
It's like a 50-minute soundtrack. There's
Dank
there's not a lot
socks!
there.
Dang
All right,
sucks.
dank
Solid A.
sucks.
Solid A.
Solid A.
Solid A. I have.
Here's-
I think Lyle might be the only person who's played all of the Dark Souls games. I've only played 3.
So full disclosure, have never played Dark Souls 2 to its fullest. However,
Oh, okay.
I put it in A because for the music, overworlds are usually just pretty ambient,
Yeah.
but it's it's
well, this
pretty
is only
true-
Dark Souls 1.
Oh, this is only Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, I see Dark Souls 3 on the list there. So this
I would
is
put
only
I
1.
would put Dark Souls 1 in beverage.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
And I
like,
will-
like a
One-
strong.
I
a
will
strong
agree
beverage.
with whatever
beverage.
Lyle says.
My
Okay,
logic there is,
He
as I
is
was saying,
the-
like they
he's the
usually
expert.
come, like each boss usually has its own
Each boss
thematic and
comes.
cinematic music. So like Dark Souls 1, for me, not like most of the music is not as memorable as like 3.
Imagine having to traverse the fog and they were just like, that wasn't fog, idiot.
Idiot.
Fucking dumbass. All right,
Dak
so
and Jackster.
I'm gonna be 1000%.
Never played it.
We are getting a little bit further into this episode, so I am just gonna start jumping around and hitting you guys.
Finding
with
the
some
good stuff.
Finding
Okay.
the good stuff. We're gonna be
Have
finding
we all
the.
Have we played Jack and Daxter?
A long time
I
ago.
have not.
Dexter, but
I have
do
not, and I
remember
would
the
love to.
soundtrack at all.
I would love to, but I have not gotten to do that.
Lyle,
as
do
of
you remember
yet.
the soundtrack?
I do not.
Okay, put it in never played.
Put that bitch in never played. Here we go.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask y'all what y'all think of the Doom soundtrack.
Oh, that's
Oh,
legendary.
yeah.
Where is
Legendary.
Doom 2016?
I was gonna say,
Legendary.
is that are all the Doom games on there?
This is Doom 2016, my dude.
Is
Okay.
that okay? Because I mean, obviously, Doom back on Macintosh back in the day.
Yes, I mean
was,
that's
like,
also
that's the
also
same.
a
That's
Doom song.
the same logo. But that's what I'm getting at. Is like
No, for
like
sure.
Doom music from Doom, yes, to include Doom 3, all the way to Doom Eternal. Music has not faltered.
Yeah, it has only gotten
The
better,
cheese.
and it started off at
interesting-
legendary.
The weird thing about this list is that it's like it has several different games,
Yeah.
but then you have just Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Just
That's
Sonic.
I'm
that's the Sonic.
assuming
That's the Sonic
these are the
06 logo.
French.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what do we think of the Sonic 06 soundtrack?
Anime figure down. Anime figure down.
Yotsuba has faltered.
And so, what does that figurine think of
Sonic-
the
Sonic the
06 soundtrack?
Hedgehog.
Yotsuba would give
Why
everything
is
the
it just
benefit of the
Sonic
doubt.
06 though? Sonic has such banging music.
I don't know. That's what Lyle said. Blame him.
No, that specifically is the Sonic 06 logo.
Yeah, so blame Lyle for getting that. in
But
your
I don't
head.
see any other Sonic games
All
on
right,
it, which
fine.
makes me sad.
I was simply
This is-
pointing something out. I wasn't
this
saying
is
like
the
this has to be the
franchise.
Sonic 06 one.
This is the
Okay.
franchise. Where does the franchise stand?
If we're going franchise, legendary.
Okay.
No,
I would
no.
I would say
agree with
solid
you
A.
in some
I
Are
love.
you
I lo-
kidding me?
Solid A.
I love Sonic
This is
games,
Sonic
but
the
it's
Hedgehog.
not legendary.
I understand.
This is Sonic the Hedgehog we're talking about.
Remember,
We're
not
talking
the
about
games.
Time out. We're talking about games where even when they're bad, you remember the soundtrack.
But listen, it's not about the gameplay here. I understand that.
Yeah. I'm not arguing for the
you,
gameplay.
but you also have to remember, I'm not a big fan of like overly wholesome. So even if the butt rock is slapping,
Slapping the butt rock?
if the music, if the lyrics are, if they're singing about like the power of love and friendship, I'm gonna be like, all right, next. Like that's a turnoff for me.
But
that's
you have to think about like the original Sonic games. Think of how iconic.
All right, let's simplify
That's
this.
why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's a solid A.
Believe in yourself.
Because
all right, I have a suggestion
listen,
to simplify
that's why I'm saying
this.
it's.
We all give it one score, and then we find what the average is, and then we put it there.
Okay.
Out of 10, and you can't go decimals.
Oh, I was just gonna say
6.
B. Because we use the same
I can't
tier
believe
list
you
and
guys.
find out what's
This
in between.
is Sonic the Hedgehog, like a legendary in its own right,
6.
like franchise, and
Iconic.
half of its like, and its music
I can think
is
of
part
one
of that
really
being
good
iconic.
song.
Okay.
Dude,
So-
if we're talking about not
I-
even the newer games, think of the older Sonic games, Green Hill Zone,
Dude,
Chemical Plants.
When I
like,
think of
all
Sonic the
these.
Hedgehog, I know you think of Sonic Adventure 2 as probably your number one.
Well,
I think
yeah,
of,
but all
I
the other
think
ones
of, like,
too.
I think of Sonic Mania, which has all of those
Exactly.
iconic songs, and those are great. However, that's really just one iteration.
Okay, listen.
I would go high B.
I think
High
I am
B.
more offended that Matthew is saying B right now. I can understand A.
Good.
High B.
Bullet dodged.
All
Bullet
right,
I
dodged.
can understand A,
Where?
but
out
Lord,
of 10,
I just can't do legendary. Like there.
I will rescind Legendary. Fine.
Out of 10, where would you put it?
10 being the best.
10 being
It's
the best.
so
1 being
iconic.
the worst.
7.
He
Oh,
didn't
fuck.
ask you, Matt.
Well,
Oh,
Matt
I
changed
don't
his
fucking
fucking
know.
answer. Hold on. So, hold up. Matt, did you change your answer to a 7?
I would give it a 9.
I said B earlier, but since we're using a different metric, I said 7.
Okay, so 7 plus that plus a 9. Lyle, what do you give it?
Wow, Matt, you said a 7, but you said B? I said 6.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
6.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's
I'll give it.
because-
I'll give it.
because we
I'll
have-
meet it.
It's not
I'll
like
meet it at
regular
7.
grading. Like
I'll meet it at
Okay,
7.
we have
all right,
S
so
and
bam,
legendary
bam,
above,
plus
so.
that. We're looking at 31 divided by 4. We're looking at a 7.75, so that sounds like a high beverage to me.
You guys are delusional. Jesus Christ.
High
This is
beverage,
Sonic the
low
Hedgehog.
A.
What the
We're looking
fuck?
at the franchise.
Fine. Hey,
just be happy with
Majority rules. Majority rules. Fine. That's fine.
What do
I
you mean
do not
majority
agree.
didn't
rules?
go
We took
lower
the
than
average.
B.
I do not agree at all, but that's...
What score did you give it? You went 10?
I rescind. I said, okay, maybe not 10, maybe
He
not
said-
legendary,
he
but I
said
gave it a
9.
9.
He
because
gave it a 9
is-
out of 10. I gave it an 8.
It's so iconic. So many of the songs, yeah, they have some of that butt rock. They have some of that, like, live and learn, which is
I
actually
like-
still a
What
fucking
the fuck
banging
is wrong
song.
with butt rock?
But
The
no,
butt-
nothing
like,
is.
I can jam out to the butt rock. I'm just
Well-
immediately turned off from it sometimes when the lyrics are like, yes, power
But
of friendship and
they have, if we're
and,
talking about,
you know, believe in
the
yourself and
entire-
Naruto, Databayo.
if we're talking about the entire Sonic franchise and the number of iconic songs,
Butt rock is in most of the most of the
Green
3D
Hill
Sonics.
Zone is not butt rock, and it's
I didn't
one
say
of
it
the
was.
most
Green Hill
Zone is
iconic
great.
video
It
game
could
songs
be.
Where
ever.
where did I say that butt rock was in all of the
No,
games?
I
Alright.
just feel like you're not taking
Alright.
it into account
Okay.
I'm absolutely
whenever you
taking
give it
into
a
account.
6.
All right.
I'll hold on. You know what? No. Here's final end. I will give it an 8 because of the Sonic Frontiers metal songs that play during the boss fights. If you have listened to those, holy ball sacks. Those hit hard.
You're gonna give it a what?
I'll give it an 8.
Recalculate.
Requacculate.
Jesus.
We've got a
fucking Christ.
9, an
Okay.
8.
Okay.
Matt's wrong answer, and whatever you
7.
gave it,
8
Dan,
plus
which you
8,
never actually
so
told
that-
us, so I'm scared.
I said an 8.
Oh, okay.
And so that
9,
leads
8,
us,
8,
I'll
and
get you up
Yeah,
to 8
no,
here.
that brings us up to 32 divided by 4 is an 8.
8.
So that brings us to a
fine.
that's like a
I'm fine with
second
A.
place in A.
We,
Look at what else is around A. Look at
Almost
what
as
else
if I had
is right
said
around it.
A from the beginning.
Tell me the other games that are in A tier.
it's fine.
Red Dead
Keep it
2,
an A.
Zelda, Twilight Princess, Vice City, and Final Fantasy.
It's not beating those. It's not beating those.
Okay.
Okay.
So
In the
I've
interest
got
of
a-
time, we can move on.
In the interest of time, where do you see the entirety of the franchise of the Pokemon games?
Also iconic.
I would
Also
say
incredibly
iconic, but I
iconic.
would,
Me
I would
personally,
be in the same
not-
area as Sonic.
I'd say S.
I fully disagree with Matt. I'm more on the Lyle side of things. It would probably
say
be
Zelda.
top of Zelda for me.
Another prime example of like I used to love Pokemon as a whole, but the music still sticks with me. Like all the hyper potion, all the hyper potions remixes, like Little Root Town from Gold and Silver. Like
Yes.
it's
Any
so
battle
solid.
theme. Any
I
battle
literally-
theme ever.
I
Like-
get songs from Pokemon Silver, like
Is
the
that
original Pokemon
nostalgia,
Silver,
though?
stuck in my head to this day because they're catchy and they're iconic and they're great. And then whenever they redid them, they remastered them for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Oh my god, they're incredible.
Okay. So we've put Pokemon as a franchise at the top of Zelda. So that
Great.
leaves
I would
us
argue
with-
Legendary, but you know what? Fine.
I can see where you're coming from, but it does have some shit ones.
All I'm gonna say about Pokemon is that I have actually never completed a Pokemon game, so therefore my opinion is worthless.
If you've
That's not
played a
worthless.
little
Well,
bit of it,
It's just not worth as much.
Yeah.
okay. If, have
So
you
worth
played-
less.
Have you beaten a gym?
Yeah.
You've beaten a gym? Okay,
Yeah, I've
so
beaten
imagine
most
imagine
of the
doing
gyms,
that
but-
8 times, then 4 times just harder every time. That's a Pokemon game.
A Jimothy.
That's a
Timothy
Pokemon game. You get different monsters and do the exact same shit. That's a Pokemon.
I mean, yeah.
Gideon's
That's,
what?
but we're not talking about the
Um,
games, we're talking about the music.
You need help?
Okay. So
Because I can come out.
I'm really just trying to find like the gold
Dan.
in the haystack here. What's
Dan.
going on?
Pause for a second. Just. Okay. You good, Matt?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to. He was doing something. I just wanted. We can cut to here.
And we're back.
And
And
we're
we're
back.
back.
to-
Did you
you don't have to-
enjoy,
you don't have to do that.
that
Just-
commercial break? Did you enjoy?
Just
gonna
keep
I'm gonna make a
going. You don't
commercial
have to
for
make it obvious.
And now
We'll
we're
make a
from our
commercial.
sponsors.
Oh my god.
And now, thanks for that word from our sponsors. All right, here we go. So the we're gonna do another franchise here. Assassin's Creed.
No, that's F.
The fuck do you mean no?
F.
Just a no.
Games are boring as shit, and the music is equally as bad.
Forget about the games. Just think about the music.
You
They
did say the
complement
music,
each other, and I understand this is about the music, but let's be honest.
I honestly,
am.
I can't remember anything about the Assassin's Creed music.
Okay.
Point
So-
exactly.
And I played not every game, but I played like maybe 3 or 4 of the games, and like I can't.
As
really remember
far
anything
as
about
far as like what a soundtrack is supposed to do, it's supposed to complement its setting, correct? It's
Sure,
supposed to
yeah,
complement
yeah.
its setting. It's supposed to complement its characters, story beats, etc. It's supposed to make you feel like you're part of the action, right? It's supposed to make
Evoke
you like,
emotion.
it's supposed to make you feel like you're part of that world, essentially, right? Whether it be ambiance or like full-on songs that are written specifically for the games. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, up until a certain point where they just decided to go for just kind of basic cinematic soundtracks, let's say all the way up to Assassin's Creed, I'm going to go Rogue, because Unity is kind of where that started to die down a little bit, and we've only gone downhill from there.
Yeah.
Except for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is something I will bring up in this next point. In my opinion, there has never been a franchise that has captured the correct setting of which the games are set in like these games.
I absolutely.
For
agree.
example, if you listen to any of Assassin's Creed 2's Revelations Brotherhood soundtracks, other than getting a slice of pizza on top of your spaghetti, it's the most Italian shit you'll ever hear in your life. You
are
play
we also
Assassin's Creed
counting-
3.
I have a question. Are we also counting the music in the trailers for those games? Because those.
I don't think so. I mean, they're cool.
Probably not.
but-
the thing about it is they use a lot of like licensed music already.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the trailers, you'll get like what's her fucking name? It was the lady that sang Everybody Wants to Rule the World for the Unity one. It was like a more
Tears for Fears.
Yeah, it was like it was a lady.
It was someone doing
this
a
time.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah, it was somebody doing a cover of it, and it was way more cinematic. It was dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't count it just because it's not
Doesn't
written
appear in
for
the
the
game.
game.
Yeah.
It fits it. It fits the trailer and it fits the story of the French Revolution really well. But it's just not something that I would consider whenever you're looking at the soundtrack. I know that I piss my pants over this game all the time. I know that I do. But I've never heard a better pirate soundtrack than Assassin's Creed 4. They have people coming in. They got a group of like 5 people. And you know what they did? They were just like, you know what? Here's 5 microphones. Sing 40 sea shanties and we'll put them all in the game. We'll put them all in the game. I don't even care if they're bad.
I feel like we need to be all in some level of agreement to put it in legendary.
I'm giving my argument.
I would say maybe
with Assassin's
S.
Creed, I'll defer to y'all's judgment. I'm not too strong on this one.
I can't speak for the quality of the games, but if we're just talking about the soundtrack,
Just music.
and the emotions that they invoke and the way that they present themselves in the settings that they're in, there's not a lot that beat the originals. There's just not.
All right. I think and Matt said he agrees with you too. So you know what? If you want to keep it up in that their legendary tier, all right.
I'd go
All
low
right.
legendary.
I'll let you have it. I'll let you
have
run
it.
away with this one.
I'll let you take it. It's all
Okay.
you.
So
let's do like 2 more.
we're gonna do like 2 more. I think I'm
Alright.
gonna go for not a franchise this time. I
Okay.
want to hear y'all's opinion on. Probably I already know the answer to this. What do we think of Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker?
Oh, that's legendary.
Yeah.
That's legendary.
Yeah.
I didn't play
Like,
it, but I watched my friend play it, and I had a lot of fun with the music. So,
it's
yes,
just
it's very
you're
good.
sailing the high
phenomenal.
seas and you feel
It's a
like you're sailing the high
it's
seas.
better.
Dragon Roost Island, the Great Seas theme, Outset Island, Windfall Island. Every single song in this game is S tier.
It's
legendary.
It's perfect for video soundtracks too. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I
it's
steal
really
so
good.
much shit from this game for videos. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Inside the
illegal.
shop theme. Inside the shop
like
theme where
like
the guys
Beetle, like Beatles shop.
Yeah, something like that. It's on like a boat. And it's just,
Thank you.
yeah, Lyle gets it.
That was my-
Lyle's
that was
gets
my
it.
best
Wait, was
Beatle
Beetle in
impersonation.
that game? Because I
Yeah,
only know
he
him
is.
from
Here, Steej, hit me with it
Breath
again. I
of the
didn't
Wild.
hear it.
Yeah, Beatles.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you like
Beetle-
that? Was that pretty good?
Beetle had a little
Here-
boat
all
that
right,
would appear
I'm
outside
gonna
little
give it,
islands.
I'm gonna give him my best
Awesome.
shot.
Love
All right,
that.
you ready for this shit?
All right, here we go, Dan. Here we go.
Thanks. Anyway, let's let's go for the last one.
All right.
I think I'm just there's one here that is like if you're talking about a video game soundtrack, it's almost sacrilege not to talk about its influence.
I think I know where you're going. With
Halo
this one.
2?
I gotta go with Block Game, dude.
Oh, block game. Yep.
The influence
Oh,
this
Minecraft.
fucking soundtrack has.
A or S.
If we're talking about like as songs, like just as like compositional, like looking at it analytically, a 5-year-old could write it. I'm gonna be 1,000%. You let a 5-year-old noodle around on a keyboard, he's probably bound to come up with something like the original songs. But then you get into the discs, and then like the beta album, and then all of the new shit that got added by the new people, and then it.
Put it in S.
I'll put it in.
Slap it
Zelda.
in S.
S feels right.
S for Zelda.
I'll. You know what? I'm gonna change the S tier to Signcraft.
Sign.
And so, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe that this is going to be possibly part 1 completed of this tier list. I am going to keep this bitch on the screen, so those of you who whose opinions want to get shared in the comments down below, feel free. The subscriber of the week comment will be the one that tells me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Oddly Coded. It was a fantastic time. I had a great time with you guys. Steej, Lyle, and Matt, thank you all for joining me. Is there anything that any of you would like to say before we go?
Yeah, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at OddlyCoded.
Hey, TikTok, if you're watching this on TikTok, follow us on YouTube.
Yeah, do that.
If you're
at
watching this,
OddlyCoded
if
cast
you're watching
on
this
YouTube.
near on hour-long oh, it just crossed over to an hour-long. Let's fucking go. If you're watching this hour-long episode on TikTok, if you're watching this hour-long TikTok, follow us on Kick, not the streaming website.
If you're watching this hour-long TikTok on YouTube, subscribe to Spotify.
Subscribe to my MySpace page.
Subscribe to our SoundCloud.
We should make a fucking SoundCloud. I would love that. Lyle, do you have anything? Do you have anything funny to say? You got any funny last words?
Yeah.
That implies that you might die after you say it. I apologize.
Just
for that.
like,
do you have anything that
like,
you want to say?
Steej knows my wise words. I've said them before, but you know how you're never fully dressed without a smile. You're never fully showered unless you scrub your butthole. Good night, folks.
Bye.
Buy a bidet.
Practice safe sex.
Sex practice.
Sex sells.
Practice sex.
Welcome to the Oddly Coded post show. Today's topic: sex practice.